Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 365 based on novel. So let's start. There were 4 elders sitting outside the Azure Dragon Temple where the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor was. The 4 of them were all elders of the Azure Dragon Divine sect, and they were all anxious. Roars continued to come out from the temple and echo across the world. These roars were filled with endless pain, and they caused the mind of anyone who heard them to tremble. The Divine Sovereign has been in closed-door cultivation for more than a month, one of the elders listening to the roars said with a worried look. The person beside him was about to speak when the roars from inside the temple became even louder. There was a thunderous rumble that sounded like someone was bashing the wall with their head. The temple trembled, and a large amount of restrictions appeared, preventing it from collapsing. The 4 people outside the temple looked at each other and all saw the anxiety and panic in each other's eyes. Inside the Azure Dragon Temple sat an old man. This old man was skinny and his face was distorted, as if he was enduring unimaginable pain. Beads of sweat soaked his clothes and endless roars echoed through the halls. On his shoulders, legs, hips and chest were 8 black chains locking him in place. They were linked to the chamber. There were also 4 treasures floating around him. Anyone in the 4 divine sect would recognize them as the 4 holy treasures. These 4 holy treasures gave off a glow that covered the old man as if they were restricting him. This old man was the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor. His face was filled with pain, and then, on his right arm, a 7-inch-long tumor suddenly appeared under his skin. It rapidly moved to his chest and eventually cycled through his whole body. The Azure Dragon Divine Emperor's roar echoed and his body struggled, causing the chains to shake. He also rushed out and smashed his head into the wall of the chamber. As the thunderous rumbles echoed, cracks appeared on the wall, but it soon returned to normal. The light from the 4 holy treasures became even stronger, and the illusions of a vermilion bird, black tortoise, and white tiger appeared. They seemed to be holding the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor down. A weakened Azure Dragon vaguely appeared above the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor. This Azure Dragon was very old and gave off an ancient aura. For some unknown reason, countless blood-colored tumors appeared on its body. It was a shocking sight. After an unknown amount of time, the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor's roar gradually calmed down. The 7-inch tumor gradually shrank until it disappeared. The chain no longer made noise and the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor calmed down. He sat down, breathing hard, and after a long time, he revealed a bitter expression. "I won again." He regained his breath and was about to start cultivating when his head suddenly jerked up. He looked into the instance with a hint of joy in his eyes. After pondering a bit, he let out a joyous laugh and 2 streams of tears fell from his eyes. Good. Good. Indeed, a worthy divine emperor chosen by the old vermilion bird. He was able to be reborn through fire and completed the vermilion bird's 3rd awakening. I think he is the first clan member to complete the 3rd awakening since ancient times. Good. For you to obtain such a fortune, it was not in vain for me to suffer this unspeakable ordeal. As the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor laughed, footsteps echoed in the temple. The 4 elders walked in and their voices came from outside the chamber. "We welcome the Divine Sovereign out of closed-door cultivation." As they spoke, the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor formed a seal and pointed around. The chains around him disappeared and the 4 holy treasures turned into rays of light before entering his body. He waved his sleeves and then walked out from the chamber. He looked at the 4 people before him with an indifferent gaze and slowly asked, "Is there any change on planet Suzaku?" The ancient god inside the spatial crack linked to planet Suzaku is about to awaken. However, we have listened to the Divine Sovereign's command and placed the Great Primal Formation using the blood of the 4 clans. When the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor heard these words, he silently nodded. He looked at the distance with a complex gaze, and after a long time, there was a flash of coldness in his eyes. His voice was filled with killing intent as he said, "The brilliant Void Realm has been chaotic for too long and all heaven has taken this opportunity to invade. Call all members of the 4 divine sect to gather. I'm going to regain control of the brilliant Void Realm. All cultivators must either yield or die." The four elders before him were startled, but they looked up with excitement in their eyes. They quickly rush out and sent the heaven-shaking order to the entire four divine sect. The entire four divine sect began to move. The people of the outer realm will soon arrive. Is there still time? The Azure Dragon Divine Emperor muttered to himself. In the seven-colored realm, as the blue vermilion bird flew into the air, Wang Lin's figure slowly walked out from the blue flames. He looked at the blue world before him with very bright eyes. If my fire, thunder, and battle intent can merge with my true and false domain, my cultivation level will increase once more. No one under the heavens' blight cultivation level will be my match. Wang Lin looked at the distance, at the depths of the seven-colored realm. He could see a towering mountain in the distance. He could see the cave in that mountain, and he could see the strange scene inside. To plant doubt and nurture. When the fruit becomes ripe, who will come to pick it? Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he raised his right hand and pointed forward. With this point, the blue vermilion bird let out a cry and suddenly moved. It took the blue flames around it and charged forward. A thunderous rumble echoed as the overwhelming blue flames rushed out straight toward the white-haired old man. The white-haired old man had 9 pieces of beast bone fragments surrounding him. They had driven away the surrounding flames, allowing him to close in. However, as he closed in, he suddenly stopped and looked ahead. Blue flames like an ocean that covered the world charged at him, and intense heat filled the world. Popping sounds came from the 9 pieces of beast bone around the old man. They seemed like they couldn't withstand the heat wave and were about to collapse. Such a shocking fire. It is extremely rare to see something like this. This child's cultivation level isn't high, but with just this fire, he could battle Nirvana Shatterer cultivators and not fall behind. Unfortunately, the old man's hands formed a seal and his origin energy began to move. His late-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivation spread out and a giant ball appeared between his hands. This ball contained a large amount of origin energy. As it rotated, destructive aura spread out like crazy. Sovereign wants this person's soul. I think that aside from the fact that his soul is pure, the Sovereign must also want this fire comprehension. When the old man thought he had the answer, his eyes lit up. He was going to kill Wang Lin and take Wang Lin's soul, and no one could stop him. He pushed his hands forward and a whistling came from the ball as if it was calling something. At the same time, the old man's voice echoed through the world. Summon, defying ones. The moment his voice echoed, 7-colored light pierced through the blue flames and seemed to fight the blue flames. An illusionary figure appeared in the 7-colored light and then a giant compass filled the sky. This didn't end here. Rays of 7-colored light formed a large, 7-colored sword. It swung around as if it was going to cut the blue flames in half. These spells formed by the 7-colored light were all spells of the defying ones. In the hands of the old man, their power was far stronger than when Master Ashenpine summoned them. The moment the 7-colored sword appeared, it rushed out. It turned into 7-colored sword energy as it charged at the blue vermilion bird inside the blue flames. The blue vermilion bird let out a cry and all the blue flames in the world rushed out and collided with the sword energy, causing a heaven-shaking rumble. At the same time, the figure in the sky stepped forward and waved his hand. Strands of slaughter energy unexpectedly appeared. These strands of slaughter energy filled the sky and fell down like rain at the blue vermilion bird. However, when the blue vermilion bird let out a cry, the strands of slaughter energy collapsed one by one. It seemed all spells in this world had to collapse before the blue vermilion bird. Wang Lin looked at everything and rushed forward. He turned into a ray of blue light and charged ahead. A blue flame flashed in his left eye and then a sea of flames surrounded him as he charged at the giant compass. The compass turned and let out a roar, but before any spell could appear, Wang Lin closed in and the compass was surrounded by a sea of flames. Collapse! Wang Lin roared, then the compass began to burn and suddenly collapsed. Floating in the air, Wang Lin's left hand formed a seal and pointed down. The blue vermilion bird let out a cry as it took all the flames around it and charged at the white-haired old man. All of this happened in an instant. At almost the moment the white-haired old man used those spells, Wang Lin's counterattack destroyed them all. At the same time, His killing intent was locked onto the white-haired old man. The old man looked at Wang Lin with a serious expression. His right hand pointed at the sky and he shouted, "As the guardian of the seven-colored realm, I command all defying ones to appear." As the old man roared, the seven-colored light seemed to go crazy and pierced through the sea of flames. Dozens of illusionary figures appeared from all around. There were young and old, men and women among these illusionary figures, but they all gave off terrifying auras. They all looked at Wang Lin, and shortly after, endless spells appeared around these dozens of people. Each one of these spells was comparable to the heavenly finger, and all of them shot toward Wang Lin. No matter how strong your flame is, you're only a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, so you can't resist the spells of the defying ones. Your power of fire is indeed very strong, but this old man has the treasures gifted by the sovereign. Your fire can't break through these treasures, the old man said with a calm voice. Wang Lin wasn't confident in battling a late-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. On a normal day, he would have chosen to retreat, but after the Vermilion Bird's third awakening, he had a chance. Also, after absorbing the thunder from the Scatter Thunder clan member, his thunder had also improved by leaps and bounds. More importantly, he had absorbed Zhong Xingye's battle domain. Although he hadn't fused with it and had only comprehended it a little, it gave him the determination to battle this late-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. The phrase from Zhong Xingye echoed in Wang Lin's mind. Cultivators like us never shrink from a fight. Wang Lin floated in the air and blue flames rushed out from his left eye and went toward his eyebrows. I gave up my life and death domain. At this moment, the flames will replace my mind and my Tao. At this moment, I am the flames. I'm the Vermilion Bird that has awakened 3 times. The blue flames gathered like crazy toward between Wang Lin's eyebrows, and a blue flame tattoo suddenly appeared. The moment the tattoo appeared, Wang Lin was no longer a cultivator, he was a fire celestial, the ruler of all fire. The current him was very similar to a Fire Sparrow clan member. The only difference was that the tattoo between Wang Lin's eyebrows was blue, while the tattoo of the Fire Sparrow clan was red. The blue fire tattoo burned between his eyebrows. Wang Lin let out a roar and the blue Vermilion Bird also let out a cry filled with joy. The blue Vermilion Bird flew up into the sky and entered the tattoo between Wang Lin's eyebrows. It looked like the Vermilion Bird had become Wang Lin's origin soul. At this moment, his origin soul returned to this body. Then a new suit of armor appeared around Wang Lin. It was a Vermilion Bird-shaped armor that was completely blue. Wearing the armor, Wang Lin was like a noble Vermilion Bird. I order the fire of the world to gather. Wang Lin roared, and all the blue flames that filled the seven-colored realm began to gather as if they were welcoming their lord. After he spoke, the world suddenly rumbled as blue flames began to gather from all directions toward Wang Lin. If one looked from above, they would clearly see that the sea of fire was quickly gathering toward Wang Lin. It was very fast and arrived in almost an instant. This scene caused the white-haired old man to suck in a breath of cold air. His hand formed a seal and all the defying one spells shot out. The countless spells covered the sky and shot at Wang Lin. However, the moment the spells arrived, the sea of flames had finished gathering. Wang Lin was like a fire vortex, absorbing all the blue flames in the world. Rumbling sound echoed as all those spells collided with the fire. A thunderous rumble echoed across the world. It was very difficult to describe how spectacular this scene was. It was as if the entire seven-colored realm was burning and Wang Lin was the center point. As the spells continued to collapse, all the fire was absorbed into Wang Lin's armor and rushed to the spot between his eyebrows. At this moment, the blue light given off by the tattoo between Wang Lin's eyebrows was demonic. Fire of the heavens and earth, listen to my command and incinerate everything. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but this calm voice seemed to contain a heat that could burn the soul. The moment he spoke, the blue light between his eyebrows flashed intensely and fire rushed out. A sea of blue fire spread out with Wang Lin as the center. All the defying one spells collapsed before the fire. Even the white-haired old man's expression changed greatly and he retreated. His hands formed a seal to resist, but at this moment, popping sounds came from the 9 beast bones around him. They were unable to withstand the force of the fire and collapsed. The moment the beast bones dissipated, the blue fire rushed toward the white-haired old man as if it was going to devour him. The old man revealed a ferocious gaze and raised his right hand to his eyebrows. Suddenly, a slit opened between his eyebrows. This slit gave off a black light like a third eye. As a descendant of the Sealing Extermination clan, I summoned my clan's ancestral spell to seal his fire tattoo. When the flames closed in, the old man exposed his identity and the black light from between his eyebrows flashed. The black light formed a complex rune that seemed to absorb the older man's life. The old man suddenly became a lot older. The black light rune moved at an unimaginable speed toward Wang Lin. It pierced through the sea of blue fire and landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows. At this instant, Wang Lin retreated a few dozen feet. The blue fire tattoo flashed like crazy, trying to break through the black rune. The rune flickered like crazy as it resisted, and at this moment, they were dead even. In ancient times, there was a clan that had the power to seal the heavens. They were very strong and became one of the most powerful clans in ancient times. However, there were too few people in this clan, and they were almost extinct nowadays. However, rumor had it that any member of this clan had the power to seal all life. This old man wasn't a real descendant of the Sealing Extermination clan. He had used a special method to obtain some of their bloodline. He could use their spells, but it would cost him large amount of vitality every time, and this vitality could never be restored. If you were just a cultivator, it wouldn't have mattered, but you tried to imitate my high ancient clan. This old man will seal your fire tattoo and see what you can do without it. The old man was extremely afraid of Wang Lin's fire, or else he wouldn't have sacrificed his vitality to use the sealing spell. He rushed out toward Wang Lin. It was obvious to him that after sealing Wang Lin's fire tattoo, Wang Lin wouldn't even last one blow. Although, he couldn't seal it forever, as Wang Lin's fire tattoo was too strong. However, he was confident in sealing it for a short period of time. Wang Lin retreated, and the fire tattoo between his eyebrows couldn't break free right away. The seal contained a shocking aura that could seal all life. The moment the fire tattoo was sealed, the blue fire suddenly disappeared without a trace and everything returned to normal as if nothing had happened. Only the wreckage on the ground and those who witnessed what had happened could attest to the power of the blue fire. Fire isn't only my spell. So what if you seal it for a moment? Lightning flashed in Wang Lin's right eye. The seven-colored realm that had calmed down due to the departure of the fire was suddenly filled with a thunderous rumble. Endless bolts of lightning and thunder suddenly appeared. At the same time, the lightning tattoo in Wang Lin's right eye moved and appeared between his eyebrows. This lightning tattoo was a shocking sight, and it gave off a heaven-shaking thunder might. I'll wait for you to seal my lightning tattoo. Thunder of the heavens and earth, listen to my command. Wang Lin's right hand pointed at the sky and a thunderous rumble echoed. Even more thunder appeared in the seven-colored realm and gathered toward Wang Lin. It turned his surroundings into a thunder hell. Fire Sparrow Clan, Scatter Thunder Clan. Impossible. The white-haired old man was dumbfounded and disbelief filled his eyes. Wang Lin pointed at the sky, and at this moment, he turned into a member of the Scatter Thunder Clan. In fact, he understood thunder even better than them and had better control over the heavenly thunder. As his right hand fell, the endless thunder that filled the seven-colored realm charged at the old man. The thunder lakes on the ground shot into the air and rushed at the old man as well. This was like divine retribution. And Wang Lin was the person controlling the divine retribution. Even the power of his thunder is enough to battle a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. I must kill this person. No wonder the sovereign wants to kill this person. If he doesn't die, he will be a calamity for my high ancient clan. The white-haired old man let out a roar and shot up. He lifted his right hand and a strange light filled his eyes. The origin energy of the world unexpectedly rushed into his right hand. The moment the old man flew up, the thunder closed in and popping sounds echoed. The entire world was filled with thunder. I'll let you die to a spell you cultivators consider powerful. The old man let out a roar and his right hand mercilessly pushed forward. A giant palm print appeared, and the moment it appeared, a large amount of origin energy was sucked into it. War Spirit Print. Wang Lin's pupils suddenly shrink. This old man once entered the God sect and learned this spell. Today, I'll kill you with it, and it will be considered completing a cycle. The old man was not surprised that Wang Lin knew this spell. After all, this spell had an illustrious reputation in the Cloud Sea. The War Spirit Print created by the old man suddenly created a majestic pressure as it rushed forward. It collided with the thunder and caused a heaven-shaking rumble. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with battle intent as he stared at the palm print and also lifted his right hand. The palm print appeared in his mind and he mercilessly pushed forward. Suddenly, a portion of the origin energy absorbed by the old man's palm print separated and gathered toward Wang Lin. In the blink of an eye, another heaven-piercing palm print appeared in the seven-colored realm. This scene shocked the white-haired old man again. He was stunned for a moment, but soon an even more powerful killing intent replaced it. It was very difficult to see someone use the War Spirit Print, but even more rare was a battle between two War Spirit Prints. This was something that wasn't likely to happen even once every 10,000 years. However, right now in the seven-colored realm, two War Spirit Prints appeared and began a life-and-death battle. No one knew who was stronger or weaker, but the moment the two War Spirit Prints appeared, it seemed like the seven-colored realm was about to collapse. The earth cracked and a huge fissure appeared, dividing the realm in half. The fissure was right where Wang Lin and the old man's War Spirit Prints collided. The two palm prints closed in at extreme speeds. The white-haired old man hadn't learned the essence of the War Spirit Print. He hid his identity and went into the God sect and didn't get many chances to comprehend the core spells of the God sect. However, his talent was astonishing. After he researched the spell and saw it a few times, he was able to learn part of it. Although it couldn't be compared to the true War Spirit Print, it had its shape and contained 30% of the original's power. Also, he had used his late-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivation to forcibly power this spell, making it almost impossible to distinguish it from the real one. Wang Lin's War Spirit Print came from the Rain Celestial Realm. After comprehending it many times, he was finally able to use it. He had also only learned the surface, but the power of the person that left the print at the Rain Celestial Realm was heaven-shaking. Otherwise, that print wouldn't be giving off an aura countless years later or left such fine cracks on the ground. As a result, although Wang Lin's cultivation was lacking, his War Spirit Print contained his power of thunder and his ancient god power. This made his War Spirit Print almost indistinguishable from the real thing. At this moment, the two heaven-piercing palms rumbled, making it seem like the seven-colored realm was going to collapse. As the wind swept by, the two palm prints collided. Rumble, 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 rumble. The earth shook and the sky was torn open. The collision of the two palms created an impact that could destroy the world. The seven-colored realm began to collapse and the large crack was torn in half. The entire seven-colored realm was split in half. In the distance, Chen Qianjian had been paying attention to this battle since the start. His heart was in complete shock and he was unable to speak. His throat was dry and his mind was trembling. He had decided that if he could leave this place alive, he would never again go to any place with buried treasure and never take any more risks. There was also that old woman in green. She also flew out with her tired body and sensed the battle in the distance. Her face was pale, but at this moment, all her vicious thoughts toward Wang Lin scattered. She felt toward Wang Lin. What the hell is his cultivation level? Compared to him, I'm no match at all. The old woman gasped and the respect in her eyes became even stronger. Also, at this moment, due to the fire and thunder, the fog inside the Valley Master Cloud Soul was in had contracted. The fierce beasts inside trembled and hid themselves, allowing him to finally escape. Just as he escaped, he immediately felt the powerful vibrations of the seven-colored realm. He clearly felt the origin energy and thunder, and what made his heart drop was that he clearly felt Wang Lin's aura. The collision of the two War Spirit Prints caused the seven-colored realm to collapse and split in half. At this moment, Wang Lin felt the impact and was pushed back. He coughed out blood and his face immediately turned pale. The lightning tattoo between his eyebrows weakened. That palm contained a large amount of his thunder. the white-haired old man wasn't any better. He retreated, and every step he took created a deep footprint. His face was pale and blood was coming out of the corner of his mouth, but he had an extremely ferocious expression. He mercilessly kicked off with his right foot and shot toward the dust straight toward Wang Lin. "Scatter Thunder Clan tattoo, I'll seal you again. I don't believe you will have a third tattoo after I seal your fire and lightning tattoos." The old man's body was like a bolt of lightning as he broke through the dust. His right hand mercilessly hit the spot between his eyebrows and the crack appeared once more. A second rune giving of a powerful, black glow flew out. After using 2 seals, the old man had lost most of his vitality. He looked like he had just climbed out of the grave and gave off the scent of decay. The black rune flew out like a ray of lightning and landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows. It formed a second seal and locked down the lightning tattoo. The old man's expression was ferocious as he closed in. He lifted his right hand and formed an origin energy spear as he closed in on Wang Lin. Wang Lin indeed didn't have a third tattoo, but aside from fire and lightning, he still had battle intent. The battle domain, Zhongxingye's inheritance. Wang Lin hadn't fused with this domain yet. The moment the old man closed in, Wang Lin's eyes gave off a crazed battle intent. An extremely bright, golden light came from between his eyebrows. This golden light shot into the sky, and at the same time, the word, battle appeared between Wang Lin's eyebrows. Then battle intent filled the world, and Wang Lin got up. At this moment, it was as if he wasn't Wang Lin, but an incarnation of Zhongxingye. His upright body and straight backbone could support the world, no one could cut him down. The battle has just begun. Wang Lin's body was surrounded in a golden glow. He waved his right hand. The image of the word, battle, appeared before him and shot at the white-haired old man. Impossible. The shock the white-haired old man felt was far greater than before. The shocks Wang Lin had given him during this fight were each greater than the last. They were far beyond his imagination. The incredibly powerful blue fire already shocked him. After he sealed the blue fire with his heaven-sealing spell, the lightning tattoo unexpectedly appeared. He originally thought the war spirit print would be enough to kill Wang Lin, but he didn't think Wang Lin would also have the war spirit print. Then he thought that if he used the heaven-sealing spell again to seal the lightning tattoo, Wang Lin would have no power to fight back. However, he had miscalculated again and a battle tattoo he had never seen before appeared on Wang Lin. He had a feeling that even if he were willing to sacrifice more vitality to seal the battle tattoo, another force would appear. This feeling was extremely strong, and Wang Lin had already closed in while he was in that short trance. Wang Lin didn't even use any spells. Instead, he used his ancient god body to begin a bombardment. Wang Lin's body gave off a crazed level of battle intent. This battle intent surrounded Wang Lin and made him look like a battle celestial. The white-haired old man retreated. His body was inferior, but his cultivation level was higher, so he immediately used spells. The two of them began close-quarters combat. The old man took out a large amount of treasures, but those treasures didn't stop Wang Lin at all. As the rumbles echoed, Wang Lin's fist landed and he turned with a sweep from his right foot that forced the old man to retreat. This white-haired old man rarely encountered such attacks, as battles often relied on spells and magic treasures. However, every punch and kick this person threw contained earth-shattering power. If they connected with his body would almost collapse. The more the old man fought, the more frightened he became. If this person doesn't die, he will definitely be a great enemy for my high ancient clans. That calmness he carries is terrifying. The tattoo between Wang Lin's eyebrows flashed as images flashed through his mind. Zhongxingye's entire life was worthy of his name. Throughout his life, over the countless battles, whether they were big or small, he had never retreated. He had accumulated a lot of experience, and these experiences turned into his domain. It was only one word: battle. The battle with the body was experience, and the comprehension with the mind was the origin of the word battle. What was battle? In Zhongxingye's view, it was a kind of spirit, a will that wouldn't yield even to the heavens. I can die, but even after I die, I will be a battle ghost. I can die, but even after I die, My welcome will still shake the heavens. I'm a hero both in life and death. Cultivators like us never shrink from a fight. What Wang Lin inherited was this will and a large amount of combat experience. At this moment, he moved like the wind and endless rumbles echoed. The white-haired old man was even more shocked. The white-haired old man's hand formed a seal and a large amount of origin energy gathered. He didn't care about wasting it, and he created a collapse before him. He borrowed this impact to separate from Wang Lin. His face was pale and there was trace of fear in it. When Wang Lin closed in again, he lifted his hands to form a seal and closed his eyes. An invisible ripple seemed to spread out from the old man's body across the seven-colored realm, summoning the lost Tao, the enlightened Tao, and all lost Tao souls. I melt your Tao soul. The moment the old man said this, the lost ones and enlightened ones that had disappeared due to the fire and lightning all appeared in every corner of the seven-colored realm. The moment they appeared, they immediately collapsed. All of the lost ones displayed a moment of clarity in their eyes, but during the moment of clarity, they turned to dust and dissipated. As they dissipated, Tao souls flew out from where they dissipated. They flew into the sky and headed toward the white-haired old man. Those enlightened ones also dissipated, and a large amount of Tao intent spread. They turned into Tao souls and flew toward the old man. The fierce beasts in the outer realm that were struggling in the flames all collapsed one by one. Their souls flew out and were pulled toward the old man. High Ancient, lend me your power to scatter his Tao. The countless Tao souls in the seven-colored realm gathered before the white-haired old man. The Tao souls all fused into one and then a yellow light filled the world, enveloping Wang Lin. Tao scatter! The old man's ferocious voice echoed, and he used all his power. Aside from the Heaven Seal, this was the spell that terrified people the most. It allowed the Seal Extermination clan to run the High Ancient clans, and it was only second to the ancient demons, devils, and gods. This wasn't a spell or an ability, but the rare Tao spell. Anyone who was surrounded by the yellow light would have all the Tao they had accumulated scatter. The white-haired old man couldn't fully use this spell on his own, and he could only make it last for 3 seconds. Just these 3 seconds would consume more than 90% of this old man's lifespan. However, in order to complete the sovereign's order, he didn't hesitate. The victor would be decided here. This video will end here.